Welcome to Museo Regrets. In this video today we'll be taking off this grill, replacing it with a grill that is in better shape, and we'll be refinishing that grill and painting it black. So stay tuned. The first thing we're gonna do is take off the turn signals and separate them from the grill. To do that, we are going to remove the two bolts that are holding the turn signal in place. After the bolts are out, we can just pop it out of place, but be careful because there's this big plastic tab in one side and two smaller tabs in the other side, and we don't want to break them. Now I'm going to use a Scotch pad just to flake off all the old chrome that is kind of falling apart, and we want to clean it up really well. Now I'm using one of these soft blocks to sand the surfaces of the grill, and we don't want to use anything very rough that will damage the plastic. Now I'm going to be using some soapy water and this toothbrush to really get into all the cracks and clean it up really well, even though this won't be the last time we clean it. If your grill is in perfect shape, you can skip this step, but since ours has a couple of cracks, we're going to be using this plastic PlasticWeld to fill in the cracks and make sure that it's a strong grill and that all the cracks are being somewhat fixed. We're going to get the plastic epoxy as deep into the crack as we can. After the epoxy has cured, we're gonna hit it with some sandpaper and make sure the surface is still very flat. Even though we sanded the grill earlier, there's still some pieces of the chrome covering that is flaking off, and it bothered me. So I'm going over with a razor blade and making sure that we remove as much chrome as we can. You guys can see in this clip the chrome flaking that I'm talking about. If we just painted over that, it's not going to look very good. So for these pieces where in the squares it's really hard to get to with the razor blade, we're gonna be using a sandpaper, and we're just gonna wrap it around some screwdriver or something so that we can get in there, and we're gonna go over the whole thing. After we clean off the chrome flaking, we're going to be mixing some body filler, and we are going to go over all the places that there might be little cracks, or over the epoxy that we fixed earlier. Any surface that is not smooth, we're gonna hit it with the body filler. And then after we cover all the cracks and all the places that we wanted to fix with the body filler, we're gonna let it dry, and then we'll come back at it and hit it with some sandpaper. Around the flat surfaces, sanding block is very useful, but if you guys don't have one, sanding paper works just fine. And this is kind of our end result of the grill fixed. Before painting, we fill all the cracks. We've filled this part over here in this side that it looked like it had some scratches, deep scratches, and Then now we're gonna go into some finer sanding before we begin painting. After finally finishing all the sanding, we're going to clean it very well with some degreaser, and we're gonna prepare it for paint. And our grill is officially ready for painting, except we left it in the workbench for a couple days, so now I'm just gonna hose it down with some water. And we are just going to follow our typical painting procedure. We are going to do 3 coats of primer, 3 medium coats of primer. Then we're going to do 3 coats of paint, and we're going to do 3 coats of clear coating, and we're gonna do a matte finish. So let's see how this turns out. We're going to let the paint cure for a few days, then we'll reinstall the turn signals, and then we'll mount it back to the car and see how it turns out. Let's do a quick before and after. As you guys can see, the result is awesome. For the amount of work and time, I think the change on the look of the car is huge. So I definitely encourage you guys to do this if you want to change the look of your grill. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, let us know in the comments what you thought about this, and we'll see you guys soon.